She was on the verge of changing when a bizarre photo popped up on her phone. On the table lay a syringe and a large amount of flour. The sender invited her to come over right away and enjoy it. Ella pursed her lips. In the end, she couldn't resist the temptation. Little did she know that all of this was a trap set by Lisa. At that moment, the congregation members also received a message from an unknown sender. They all got up and left the venue one after another. Meanwhile, Ella was still completely unaware and was savoring the afterglow of her high until the sound of a camera shutter snapped her back to reality. The daughter of a pastor caught snorting flour in public. Whoever posted this headline online first would instantly go viral. Lisa watched her masterpiece with immense satisfaction. Soon, Anna rushed over as well. She pointed out that this was Ella's first offense, and even if she were arrested, she'd be released quickly. However, Lisa paid no attention. She simply strolled over at a leisurely pace. The very next second, Anna's work chat group began buzzing. The conversation was all about Anna's history of bullying classmates in high school. It turned out that before the church incident, Lisa had already had a friend post details of the school bullying she'd experienced online. Soon after, news of Ella snorting flour also went viral online. Seeing that the time was right, Lisa prepared to expose Anna's murder. But even at that moment, Anna remained completely calm. In her mind, Amy's body had already decomposed, and her school ID had been burned by her mother. However, upon seeing Lisa's smile, Anna realized things weren't that simple. Meanwhile, Ella had already dyed her hair and changed her entire outfit, preparing to flee. Unexpectedly, the police arrived at her doorstep a split second later. Since Ella was a first-time offender, and her pastor father pulled some strings, Sarah was ultimately only placed in temporary detention. Anna, however, wasn't so lucky. With nowhere else to go, she was forced to sleep at the home of the fortune teller her mother kept. Carl was consequently implicated. The company's stock price plummeted. The legal team hoped Anna would step forward to apologize, but Anna remained defiant without evidence. She couldn't prove that the person in the news reports was actually her. She had, however, already devised a plan of action. That same day, Anna approached a journalist she knew and exposed Ella's tax evasion through her art exhibitions, as well as the scandalous fact that she had been snorting flour for 18 years. Soon, the scandal surrounding the famous painter Ella was made public. Soon, the buzz surrounding the bullying incident began to die down. Meanwhile, Ella, who was in detention, had no idea she'd been betrayed by her friend. However, Lucy, a fair-weather friend, immediately told Ella about the situation, and Lucy was holding on to evidence that could land Anna on death row, namely, the recording from Mark's phone. Although Anna discovered it in time that day, the recording had been automatically uploaded to the cloud by the system. Lucy discovered it on his tablet, and there was also a video recorded on it. A little story about Mark and Ella. She later gave the recording to David. In the recording, he took particular note of the name of a bottle of wine, and that very bottle was the murder weapon Anna used to kill Mark. Anna had even gone out of her way to come back and look for it, but unbeknownst to her, the store clerk had hidden it away. Seeing that Anna had made such a huge mistake, she realized there was no hope of marrying her to win back her daughter. So she asked Lucy if she wanted to be the mother present at the birth. The very next day, she broke up with her current fiancé and blocked him. A few days later, Ella was released from detention. A large crowd of reporters had already been waiting there for quite some time. As best friends for so many years, Ella naturally had plenty of dirt on Anna as well. Inside this cell phone, which had been kept hidden for 18 years, were photos and videos from Anna's high school days, showing her bullying Amy. There was even footage of her saying outright that she wanted to kill her. Ella struck back by posting all the videos online, bringing the spotlight back onto Anna once again. When she arrived at the office, everyone's eyes were on her. With the evidence now irrefutable, she boldly took the initiative to resign, but she still refused to admit to the murder. When she got home, however, her daughter seemed to already know about her mother's scandal. The girl couldn't understand why her mother would bully her classmates, or why she would press scalding objects against other people's bodies. She could lose her husband, or even her mother, but there was one person she absolutely couldn't lose: her daughter. For her daughter's sake, Anna bowed her head for the first time and admitted to reporters that she had bullied her classmates, but she absolutely did not commit murder. Moreover, she had wept bitterly for a long time after Amy's death. She successfully misled the reporters. That day, the police suddenly received a report. A witness claimed to have discovered a body, and that body was none other than Mark's. Furthermore, the body was found exactly where Amy had been pushed down the stairs. Upon learning of this, the corrupt cop and Anna immediately rushed to the funeral home. By this point, she could no longer reach the staff member who had been keeping her secret, because that person had already been bribed by Lisa and Jack. The corrupt cop had intended to use the body to blackmail Anna and her daughter for a large sum of money later on. But, unexpectedly, this had now led to so much trouble. However, at this point, the best course of action was to create an alibi. So she sought out David, hoping he would give false testimony, just as he had 18 years ago. On the day Mark died, David had been with her the whole time. In exchange, she would bring her daughter back to him. For his daughter's sake, David finally agreed. Meanwhile, the corrupt cop was preparing to take the money and run. Afterward, David sought out Carl and handed him the recording. He stated plainly that this was the last place Mark had been before his death, and the last person he'd seen was Anna. After saying this, he pointed to the liquor cabinet nearby. There had been a bottle of wine there, but now it was gone. At that point, Carl understood everything. Finally, David urgently told Carl to divorce Anna, assuring him he would take care of everything. Carl clenched his fists. This man had invaded his family time and time again, and was even using his daughter as leverage. By now, he was consumed by a desire to kill. After returning home, Carl listened to the recording. David hadn't lied. He closed his eyes tightly and said nothing. Then he found Anna and gave her two choices: either go to Amy's house to apologize to her family and take responsibility for the sins she had committed, or end their marriage right then and there. In the end, Anna chose the latter. To this day, she still feels that the relationship between Carl and Lisa is more than just a casual one. The very next day, news of the divorce of the renowned tycoon Carl began to spread online. That same day, he packed his bags and dismissed the household staff, paying them 3 times their severance pay and wages. This was the difference between Anna and him. No matter the other person's status, Carl would treat them with respect. He would never abuse his power to trample them underfoot. Ever since the truth about her mother came to light, the girl had been ostracized by her classmates. Once lively and energetic, she had become withdrawn and melancholy. But there was one person whose love for her had never wavered. Even knowing his daughter wasn't his biological child, he doted on her in every way. Meanwhile, at Mark's funeral, Lucy secretly used someone else's tablet to post a video in the group chat. On one occasion, Ella had hallucinated after snorting flour and, in a daze, had ended up having sex with Mark. The events of recent days had already left Ella seething with anger, compounded by Lucy's constant taunts. Her fury drove her to find out who had posted the video. Just then, Anna arrived at the funeral. Convinced Anna had posted it to get back at her, Ella lunged forward and grabbed her by the hair. These close friends since childhood were now tearing at each other at their friend's funeral. Lucy watched the scene, just as she was about to leave with a smug sense of satisfaction. But her old habit of running her mouth got the better of her again. She let Ella know that she was the one who posted the video. By this point, Lucy's reputation was already in tatters. In full view of everyone, she pulled out her pencil drawing hairpin and plunged it viciously into Lucy's neck. In the end, Ella was arrested on the spot by the police who had come to investigate the case. She faces a life sentence. Lisa's revenge isn't over yet, because Anna still holds a trump card: her biological mother. This vicious woman, for a mere 1 million, sold her daughter's future and her very life. What price will she have to pay?